remember what my character's.
Birdman.
What was the thing? Oh, D&D book.
Alright.
My big dice has not been doing it for me, boss man.
So, here we go.
This is very.
Your rig dice.
Okay.
My
So-
rigged dice.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just recap where we left off last session. So, let me go ahead and lower my music. It's a little too loud for it. So, in my
Last thing I have is we fought bandits.
Yes.
Last thing I have.
So, where we last left off, at least in terms of the main three at this rate, Aki, Bixie, and Jack have made it into one of the inns. And Jack was proposed a task or a job of sorts. And as they left for their job or task, they left both Bixie and Aki in the hotel, or in the inn rather. And Bixie, feeling the need to take a long rest, has curled up near the fire and is currently indisposed. Aki himself was getting himself cleaned and was drinking a little bit and eating a bit. And Hemi, only Lord knows where Hemi went last time around.
Hemi doesn't know where he went.
However, we'll go ahead and switch the focus to Hemi. So we'll go ahead and return back to the town itself. To the town we go. Last Hemi was seen, he was desperately clinging into the forest, trying to find the shrine that he had previously seen the day before. And that's currently where we find Hemi. In the forest, looking for his shrine. It is about... We're gonna go back in time because since you've been gone for a little bit, it's about midday for you, Hemi.
Okay.
And about 2 days prior to the current, or a day prior to the current events. So you have a whole day to yourself.
Okay. I looked for the shrine and I believe there was nothing. There was nothing there.
Unfortunately, no. When you went back to the remnants of where the shrine was, it was just ruins and overgrown moss, trees, and just rubble.
I need. I need. Okay, here we go. This is what I need. Okay, so is there a church in the town? Right, the town, not a village.
Yeah, this one's a little it's a little bit bigger than a smaller village, and it's not quite a city. It is a town itself. It's just big enough.
Okay. So would there be a priest in a local like a like in a how like each place has its own kind of like sanctuary or I guess like mini church, something like that,
Yeah, I would say. I mean, you would ask around, and you'd be able to hear of the local priesthood.
Religion, right? All right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of ask around, see if I can find a fellow priest.
Okay.
Or some sort of holy man, I guess.
Well, from what you've gathered and what people have told you, you find out that there's not necessarily like roaming priests. They're more in their own little area, and they point to you on your map that they're gonna be in this little monastery building here, this almost castle-like feature.
And I am wearing the green garb, correct?
Yes, you have already gotten your new garb. It was given to you. Actually, no, take that back. You were wearing your standard garb. It's not until the next day when you would get them.
That makes sense.
So you're still wearing you're still wearing your default clothing.
Okay. Well, that kind of sucks. Can't get any discounts. Okay, so I want to head to the castle, I guess. The priests.
Okay. As you make your way to the actual, let's go ahead and let me make a little notation here. Let me go ahead and mark this. So as you make your way to the actual little castle on your map, actually following the roads and making your way there, little bits of turns here and there, you do get some looks while you're actually traversing the road. Some people kind of look at you and not necessarily eye you up and down, but kind of just take a quick glance at you and continue walking on. Some people actually do stop by you and then kind of not bow in your presence, but kind of like lower their head, kind of in more of a faithly respect, so to speak.
A question. This is just meta, I guess. Are priests allowed to like bless?
I mean,
Like,
it depends on
like
your
not
character.
it's okay.
Like if you wanted to bless some of the folks and actually like
It's not an actual like buff. It's kind of just I guess to look out. I guess.
it's up to you. Yeah, if you wanted to like are you blessing your like
It's like just the people. Just kind of like a good luck charm.
yeah, I mean yeah, that would be fine. You can I would say if you wanted to bless some of the passers-by, then that's more than welcomed. It's feasible.
Okay. Hammy will think to himself, I will save more money if I get good with these people. So I want to bless a couple of them.
Okay.
So that's the people that are bowed. Kind of just a quick blessing.
Okay.
May the gold never run dry.
Do you have any kind of imagery you would like to display during your blessing, or is it
Gold
kind of
coin.
just like a okay?
I pull out one of my gold coins and like do the little finger thing. Where it goes over the knuckles.
Okay. Oh yeah, you kind of like twirl the coin between the indents of your fingers.
Yes.
Okay.
You should pull an those evangelicals on TV where they just slap someone in the head real hard with the.
After the super blessing.
Be like.
You slap him with a bag of
like,
money.
all right.
Just hit him with the money bag.
All right, your cancer's gone now.
As you smack him, you're just like loads of money.
Loads of money.
But yeah, as you kind of bless some of them, immediately some of them kind of like just immediately thank you, and just some reach out to shake your hand as you've blessed them.
All right, continue marching.
Okay. As you make your way towards the monastery, you actually approach the area where it would be in, and you do notice that the building itself is an older, almost looks like a fortress. However, it's in the front, instead of any kind of gated opening or any kind of drawbridge, the door itself is just really large oak doors, and any symbolism of cannons or armaments or weapons of any kind have been replaced. On the actual outside of the building, you see two sigils. These two sigils would look similar to the images you would have seen in the forest. One is almost like a moth-like symbol, whereas the other one is a horse-drawn chariot.
Horse-drawn.
And
I feel like I've heard that before.
As you approach and get closer, the doors currently are closed. However, as you are within steps of getting into the actual interior, into the actual door, a figure does come out from the doors and immediately just looks at you and greets you. It's like, welcome, my brother.
Hello.
How may we be of assistance to you?
I have two requests. First, I would like to request a blessing of a staff. And second, is there any help that you require? Or that I may be of service?
Well, I may be able to bless the staff, but it would cost a fee depending, of course, on the charms or blessings you wish to accrue upon it. As for help, I do actually need an errand. If you'd be so willing to help, perhaps I can give you a discount on the blessing.
What is the request? What's the year?
I myself was on the way to gather some supplies for our apothecary. I was wondering if you'd be so kind as to tag along and perhaps spread me your wisdom and see if perhaps you can also guide me to a more potent ingredient or concoction.
What are the dangers?
As for your staff, before we continue further, what is it you'd like as form of blessing?
What type of blessings do you have?
So, you yourself would kind of know from like the for the magical studies that you've done, as well as like incantations you might have heard of or known before. They can actually bless it with a holy spirits.
Right?
Bless it so they can do actually like a radiant damage against undead or just extra damage against undead. Um, they can bless it for luck, which can, of course, as it sounds, increase a luck value of yours. Or perhaps even if you wanted, they can equip it with an elemental. However, of course, the more intricate your blessing becomes, the more costly and the more materials it would, require.
Makes sense. What about sound effects?
What do you mean by sound effects? I'm curious. I'm curious.
What I'm really want to do.
Blue.
No, more classic. Well, no. Bonk.
You want like the traditional bonk.
Yes.
Um.
In addition to probably some other buff.
The bonk from all the memes.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I would say if you want to go ahead and make the bonk sound effect, so that would be a I forgot the spell is on top of my head, but that would be a spell enchantment on it, so to speak. I could say that maybe perhaps that itself would just require a essence of I would say just mainly that would cost you gold for sure, and then
Essence of bonk.
I'm trying to see if essence of bonk I guess would be the word we can use for it. However, I would go ahead and say in this instance, since it's kind of a jokey thing, I would say it's an essence of joy.
And how do you get essences? It's not like you can open a bag and here essence.
So, for the sake of magic in this world, we'll go ahead and say an essence of joy or an essence of any kind of emotion would require a ritual in which a gem of sorts or some kind of capsule would be your holder for this emotion or feeling, I guess.
That can be my long-term goal.
As for any other blessings, like what are you thinking? That way we can gather your equipment or supplies while we're on the your quest of yours.
So I guess I guess it makes sense if it was a like essence of like wind or something, right? Because bonk is auditory.
Technically, we could say that. We can go ahead and argue that it could be that.
I was just gonna say just stuns. Maybe stun is too strong. I don't know.
Well, I can give it stun. However, keep in mind
It's gonna be more expensive.
it's gonna be more expensive. Especially keep in mind you're also only level 2, and
Right.
I don't know how deep your pockets may run right now.
Exceptionally deep.
I will hold you to that then, if they are so equivalently deep.
Okay, so bonk is the joke, but yeah, I guess stun. I guess stun would be okay.
Okay, so in order to cast stun upon it, you're gonna need materials worth 10 gold.
Right?
Of course, that's from both the apothecary itself as well as the
20 gold total.
Yeah, we can go ahead and round it off to 20 gold. Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so that's for stun, and then for bonk, essence of joy, I need a capsule, and ritual is something I need to research.
So the ritual can be conducted here in the actual church or religious place, so to speak. It would just require you to do the ritual with these the monks, brothers,
Right.
whatever you want to call them.
And any sort of special container or just a container?
It does have to be a gem. So any kind of
Gem,
precious, precious stone. So that can range anywhere from a few pieces of gold upwards to hundreds of gold, just depending on what it is that you're getting. Of course, that depends on the stock of any magic store you may go to.
Oh, okay. So it's just the cost is gonna vary depending on what store I go to.
Yes, because of course
Okay.
the grander the material, the better the bonk sound effect. Depends if you're gonna it depends.
You're gonna make me empty my entire wallet on bone.
It depends. It's gonna define your bit rate. it's gonna define what your quality is. Is it 1080? Is it 720? Is it 480? 360? What is it?
360. It's gonna be 1 bit. You just hear the onk.
It's just a 1-bit bonk. It just.
All right, precious gem. Damn, apothecary won't have that. Shit. Okay, I can't weasel my way in that. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll just go with the monk then. We'll just. Do I need any resources or anything that would help me with this journey? Is it a long journey?
It's not necessarily long. It's all within town.
All right, let's get going.
Yeah, from what this monk has kind of told you, it's all from within town, so it's not nothing too insane.
Sure.
So as y'all make y'all's way through and around the shops, the first one you'll end up is at the floral shop down here at the bottom of the map. Let me go ahead and do this. Yes, exactly.
The one that has the flower.
Yes, exactly. It's almost like it's coordinated. It's almost like they did that on purpose.
Yeah, dude, you're so smart.
Wow.
Wow there.
Smart. And I don't exactly have an actual thing for that, so we're just gonna go ahead and lay it out for you. So as you enter the herbologist, as it were. So in this floral shop / herbologist, you find your way in, and as you come on in, the smells and aromas, sweet, sour, pungent, almost. Oh my god, that was loud in my ear.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, like that. The aromas. Okay, perfect. I just got the update. So I don't know if y'all saw the Discord. Jack will be joining us very shortly. So, anyways, as I was mentioning, so the aromas, the scents, and the smells that catch you, it's almost overwhelmingly sweet and numbing, at the point that nothing else can be smelled through all of this.
You're gonna hurt my sniffer.
A little schnoffer. But as the monk is there, they're just kind of gathering up any kind of materials that they may require. You see them gathering sage, rosemary, lavender, and other aromatics.
Can I ask the florist if they have any fluorescent moss? Or moss that glows? Or rather, let me rephrase. Have I seen any glowing moss through my journey through the town?
So you haven't seen them out there. You may have seen some in the forest during your previous journeys and previous encounter. However, it has been a little bit of time that you
Right.
and during the
would
day,
be feasible.
Yeah, and since it's been during the day, you're not quite sure if it's been bioluminescent. Since
All right. Can I ask the florist then?
yeah, you can. So
So I'm gonna say I want to try and convince. So I'm gonna talk to the florist and say, hey, as a priest, it's difficult to go outside without any sort of light. Could you help a priest out and donate some fluorescent moss
okay,
to a journeying priest?
go ahead and roll persuasion for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll against you. So let's see.
How about a 21?
21? Okay, let me go ahead and roll and see what I find. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get that high, but, never hurts to try.
Dude, if you get that 20, I'm gonna be so
no,
sad.
no, it's
Please,
okay. I
God.
only rolled a 12. You're okay. No,
whenever you say something, I'm like, oh god, here it comes. He's
no,
gonna
I just had to roll. You're good. As you say that, the shopkeep looks at you, and immediately they're like they kind of nod their head in agreement, like, oh, that's right. Yeah, you would need that if you're on a journey. Right. What exactly in mind did you have?
Just some fluorescent moss so I'm able to see my way when I journey in the dark.
Okay. Just the moss, no will-o-wisp bugs or anything like that?
Maybe fireflies? Like in a jar or something, so if the moss, dies, you got
Right.
fireflies?
Right. I could perhaps do that. Let me go ahead and look at my stock. And immediately they kind of go to the back behind their little counter, and you start kind of hearing them like clatter through jars and clatter through like other boxes, as it were. And
Is anyone paying attention to me?
just the monk that's with you. However, they're not intently looking, so if you're trying to do anything in particular, you could roll a sleight of hand for me and see what you can get away with.
I want to do this facial expression.
Okay. That's fine.
So not stealing anything, just be like,
Not stealing anything, but just making a rather suspicious and very. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand. Let's see if anybody notices first.
Right? 15.
15? Okay, I'll go ahead and say you successfully kind of, inconspicuously rub your hands and make a face almost like a excellent. But yeah, you make that face. Is that all you're doing, or is there anything else to come?
Now that's it.
Okay.
I don't want to test the dice too much.
That's fair. That's fine. As you do that, and immediately, the shopkeep comes up and is like, "All right, so I'll have a little bit of moss. It is attached to this stone, however, and it pulls up like an almost like perfect skipping stone. It's near smooth, rounded, perfect, like almost like oval-ish, egg-shape kind of stone, and only the top part is covered in a moss. And in the lighting that this shopkeep has it in, like in this jar, kind of covering it with his hands, you can kind of see a faint glow, just almost pulsating, just like in and out, in and out.
Okay.
Alright, so if you fancy this, I can perhaps part with it for 5 silver. Of course, this is the only piece I have, so I say 5 silver is indeed a fair price.
Would you perhaps go 4 silver for a wandering priest?
Roll persuasion. I'm gonna go ahead and roll against you.
Nat 20.
You're serious?
Dead.
I only rolled a 15. Yeah, so the priest turns around and looks at you and kind of like gives you like a nod of approval, and the shopkeep looks at you and goes, "Ah, what the hell. 4 silver it is."
Oh, champ.
As for the fireflies, I don't exactly have very wide assortment. I do have a few jars of varying sizes of fireflies, so of course pick to your heart's content. And he pulls out 3 separate jars, each of varying size. You have a standard just mason jar with holes drilled at the top with just literally standard normal day fireflies. A second one with more miniature fireflies, which are, even though smaller, shine almost twice as bright. And then he pulls out a giant jar. In the giant jar is almost the size of an apple. A rather rotund, spherical bug. Almost looks like it has crab-like features. And refers to it as I have my candle brights, which he points to the small one. The medium one, which is the regular size fireflies, just the fireflies. And this beauty. And he points to the large, crab-like, spherical creature. This is what they call will-o-wisp bugs. These things, all pretty little things. All of them, don't get me wrong. But this one, as he points to the will-o-wisp, this one right here, this little beaut, will turn night into day.
Flashbang. Okay. And what container is he in?
The container that it's in is, like I said, it's a rather large,
So not something you can like mount on a staff or something? You'd have to like
I would say
like
it's
put
more,
it on a horse or something?
I say it's more horseback or backpack. It is a rather large jar. It's almost like a like you know those smaller ice chests. It's kind of like that size, like the small coolers. It's like that, but it's got like it's already wrapped up, so it looks like it can be carried on your back.
Okay, well that sounds like a nightmare to go through the scary forest with.
Do you say that out loud, or do you just kind of say that to yourself?
I asked the herbalist, if I carry this through the forest, won't I get attacked by everything?
Well, not necessarily. As it turns out, so these will-o-wisp bugs mimic near perfectly will-o-wisps. As a result, most creatures will not want to come near. However, the good thing about these things, if given the proper reward, let's say, if given the proper reward, they will return to their owner once the job is done. And of course, they only shine when light does go out. However, you can easily turn them off by simply snapping your fingers. And as he snaps his finger, you see the will-o-wisp bug light up. And
explain more. What do you mean when this job is done? You mean light, or does he attack?
No. When the light's done, of course, it's a lantern, so to speak. It's just a bioorganism, as it were, that if you wish for there to be light, there shall be light. And if you wish for no light, there's no light.
Yeah, you said when the bug can come back, so if it leaves its container, it comes back?
Well, of course, if you wanted to lead in front of you and see what's in front of you, you can't quite do that on your back. You just open and just kind of pops open the lid, and you see the will-o-wisp bug kind of float out of it, but kind of hover around the jar. And as the shopkeep points to a direction of the store, you see the will-o-wisp bug go to that corner of the store. And
is it flying or just crawling?
It is flying. It's a rather fat little thing, and its little wings kind of make it like almost hover, but like as it kind of goes out, it kind of like falls a little bit to the ground, just puts itself back up. It just flies away.
And as a wandering priest, this might be the difference between life and death. How much would you part for it?
Well, as these will-o-wisp bugs are rather finicky and hard to catch in the first place, I would be willing to part for it for, let's say, 6 gold?
6 gold.
As you can tell, these insects are rather useful to an adventurer, such as yourself. And of course, you can only find these in the Blinded Forest.
That's clever, by the way. Nice. Well, as a priest, you know, it's a job to look around for interesting religions. You know, I have recently just been acquainted with your shrine, the Juniper Shrine. You know, as someone who enjoys... What?
The what?
The Juniper Shrine.
The shrine hasn't... There's no shrine here.
Well, I saw something and it gave me this mark.
Do you
show him the mark?
As you say that, he looks at it. He looks at you and just goes, "I see nothing. What are you referring to? I don't believe you."
Well, that's okay. You know, as someone who just enjoys the local culture, local religion, perhaps I can get a priest discount. You know, I might be able to do more good with that gold, such as give it to the local needy.
Roll persuasion for me.
Big money, big money. Oh, that's glorious.
What'd you get?
24. Dude, min-max characters are the fucking bomb.
Yeah, you're a little gross. I only rolled a 6.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, as you do that, the shop owner looks at you and goes, "Fine. I'll bring it down to 3. 3
I would
gold.
hate to.
Take
I would
it
hate to. I would hate to haggle you more. You're a man of culture. I have acquired Dave, the Will-O-Wisp.
Is that what you're gonna call it?
Yes. Or should I name it Barry? For shits and giggles.
Name it whatever you. It's your creature now.
All right. Will-O-Wisp.
The Will-O-Wisp bug only has 3 hit points, so be aware. However, it does have an armor class of 13.
Okay. Can people target it? Is it something that's kind of more inconspicuous?
If you keep it dim, it's not going to be conspicuous. However, if you have the
If
light
it's-
on, it can be
yeah.
targeted because, of course, someone could see it.
Right. And you said it keeps away scary things.
I didn't say that.
He said, damn it. Fine. How bright is it? How would you say?
If you were
Would
in
it
a
like
cave,
light up a cavern?
yeah, it'll light up a cavern pretty easily. So basically, it would turn a cave where only dark vision would work, or superior dark vision, should I say, would work. It would turn it to not exactly daylight or like pure brightness, but it would turn it
yeah.
into similar to torchlight. So it would be able to see within the 30-foot radius of you.
And then use it like a flashbang. If it's like, midnight or something, and I just fly that thing right up to someone, light on.
I
Just play it by ear.
I would say yes. I will allow it. But now I will be ready for it. So you should have told me only when you used it.
Well, I mean,
No, I get you. No, I'm messing with you. But yeah, I will say I
Use
shall allow it.
as flashbang. Alright, cool. I look at the monk and be like, I got all my goodies.
And immediately the monk is like, well, lucky for me, I've also acquired what I wanted. And he just kind of like
Twinsies.
walks out with some bags. Or
Uh-huh.
rather a basket full of materials.
Okay.
What's up?
Nothing.
Are you
Don't
being
worry about it.
devious?
Yes.
Alright.
I thought of something.
I worry. I worry for you.
Do you have a picture of what the Will-O-Wisp looks like?
Yes! Give me 1 second. Let me go pull up my book.
I assume it's just a regular Will-O-Wisp, right?
No, it is a Will-O-Wisp itself is more just a light. This is a Will-O-Wisp bug. Let me go get my book of notes to go get that. So give me 1 second to step away real fast to go pull that material.
X, I'm gonna put him in a jar.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna put him in an armor jar.
What's up?
Nothing.
I gotta find it in this book. It's a good thing I found books that I've had since I've been a child because I saw this book of creatures like cryptids and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, I have to have this.
I have one of those somewhere.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the Discord here in a second.
That was my favorite thing to look at in like the book sale, like when you're a kid, elementary school.
Oh yeah, just those kinds of things.
Favorite book to look at, yeah.
There you go. I just sent in the Discord what the Will-O-Wisp bug looks like.
God, that is ugly little shit.
I did say it was an ugly crab-like insect.
No, you were right.
I did say it's pretty ugly. It's
No,
a
it's
fat
cute.
It is a fat little thing for its little wings to carry it around.
Bro, if you don't think it's cute, man, I don't know what to tell you.
But like I said,
Just
though, it is. Keep in mind, it is the size of an apple, so it's not super huge, but it's
okay.
relatively big at the same time. But these things are very powerful in terms of lighting.
That sized.
Yeah, Will-O-Wisp bugs are very neat. I really like the ideas behind them.
And food, do I need to actually take care of it, or does it just kind of live?
I had photosynthesizes.
Okay, great. Love to hear.
Photos and
Yeah,
All right.
I'm not gonna make. I'm not gonna be super strict on like
I'd be
companions
like,
or
okay,
creatures.
here you go. You can take Dave back. I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be super strict on those things. I will be strict on things outside of that once we have money. Right now, for the sake of just ease, we all are only level 2. We're gonna go ahead and play this a little bit on easy mode / mode.
Easy mode / I'm not gonna murder you immediately.
Well, I mean, y'all are in the
Oh,
Grimdark, so we'll see.
Yeah, he tried.
Yep.
All right, vibing. Follow the dude out.
Okay. As you follow the priest back out, and he does look at you and say, "I have one more thing I need to go to the library."
Library.
And as y'all make y'all's way to the library, a few ways down, just before almost passing the shrine that you remember, Hammy, about right here, where I'm marking.
Wait.
Yeah, right there. Coming out of the crossroads where that shrine would be, you see, what you would remember as the Redoran guards, walking past, and in this formation you have one to lead, and 4 behind him carrying almost what looks like on a stretcher a piece of rubble, and they begin marching forward.
And the rubble's on the stretcher, right?
Yes, almost like it's like the 4 of these people that are carrying that stretcher are just like with all their might just trying to carry this rubble away.
Okay.
And you continue on your way. And as you make your way to the library, outside there are a few citizens there. And as these citizens are looking at the priest immediately begins to bless a few of them. And one looks at you and goes, and a little kid looks at you and is like, "That's not a priest I'm familiar with. What kind of priest are you?"
Well, I'm one with wings.
Really?
You want a blessing?
As you say one with wings, you see this little kid's eyes light up immediately.
You want to see them?
I've never seen someone with wings.
Well, mine are the best. Kind of just open up the wings, give a little flap.
How big is your wingspan, by the way? I didn't actually remember.
Ooh, I wrote this down because I take notes. I did not write this down because I don't take notes.
What was the question?
No, I was wondering how big his wings were if you remembered.
I thought
5.
you said
I'm
they were-
5 feet in height, so that'd be a total wingspan of probably 10 feet.
I was gonna say, I think he said something about it being like double
Yeah.
his height.
Like twice his
Yeah,
height. That would make sense. Okay.
Yeah. So like 10 feet wingspan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Immediately, the kid is enthralled by this. Immediately, this kid is just staring like at your wings, just like not even focusing on whatever he had paid attention to previously, just enthralled.
I just give him a good time.
Immediately, this kid just like, as he's looking at his wings, he's like, "I've got to tell the others. We've never seen a bird person." And immediately just runs off to go get other kids just so they can see this spectacle of a bird person.
I'm person.
I'm bird person.
I am a person.
Immediately, just as that little interaction, from there, as you recall, Arakocra themselves are not a very common race on this side of the province.
I am the best.
You are indeed a traveler with an accord.
That's what wings are for.
As that happens, though, you return back to the path that you were approaching, and into the bookstore the priest goes. He does look at you and just says, "My fellow brother, allow me to peruse first. I shall get you once I am done."
My fellow brother in Christ.
That's not what I was going for, but fair enough.
So does he want me to like sit still like a child, or can I also
Yes.
peruse through the books or talk to librarian or something?
No.
That is up to your discretion.
And he already walked off, right?
He is already inside the bookstore.
He's already gone, brother.
Okay, I'll just look really glum and just like sit on the steps petting Dave.
Is that actually what you're gonna call your little will-o-wisp bug?
Yeah, sure, let's go with it.
All right.
Dave.
I am Dave.
Whenever there's anything around books, one of the party members just needs to sit down.
Literally.
Reading is hard.
You have no clue. You don't even know.
It's scary.
Anyways, as a few minutes go by, the priest comes right back on out, carrying these old leather-bound books that you can just, as the minute he passes, you can just smell just the age and antiquity of these books.
Smells better than the herbalist.
Probably also smells better than some of your party members the other night. Again, you missed a
Rocky.
fun night. I guess you
Hey,
missed the panty raid.
The what?
Anyways,
You miss the panty raid. You're
Anyways.
talking about girls, right? Girls. And going into their rooms and stealing their underwear. Oh yeah.
stupid. Anyways, as you follow the priest back and as you return to the monastery, the priest looks at you and goes, "Well, anyways, I can bless your staff. However, do you have all the materials that are required?"
Let me get back to you on that.
Of course, if you don't have them all, I can do one enchantment at a time. And of course, when you need or have the other pieces, I can finish what I've started.
Alright. Is there a magic shop in town?
Are you asking the priest or are you just asking in general?
Let's go with priest first.
Okay. As you ask the priest that, he looks at you and is like, "Unfortunately not. The nearest one would be in Actius."
Oh. Okay.
I heard there's a wizard's college up there.
I should write that down.
Probably the best place to look.
What was the city?
Actius.
Harry's Domain.
Did you say Harry Domain? Bro, is that Harry Potter?
Harry Potter. Boy. Okay, Oh.
I spilled my drink. I spilled my journal.
name of the goblet of fire.
Harry,
would
did you
like to
put him in the
ask-
goblet of fire?
I would like to ask the priest if they have any precious gems for me to complete a ritual of joy.
Well, that would depend what exactly are you looking for? I have changed my accent once again. Do not pay attention to it.
Multiple
Sir?
personalities, sorry.
Man of many voices.
Man is Moon Knight over here. Hurry!
Harry.
Hurry! Hagrid, what are you doing?
You're a blizzard, Harry. Right, should not have done that. Should not have told you that. Definitely should not have told you that.
Money, money, money.
Well, they're gonna take my precious griffins. I wish
They're
I
gonna
could
kill
be
Buckbeak. He's never harmed no one.
Oh, is that his name? I forgot it.
I've been
Yeah.
I've been rewatching Harry Potter.
Really? Dude, I forgot all about Buckbeak.
I thought about watching it again.
Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
I changed it.
Anyways, what kind of precious gem would you be looking for him?
Okay, you said that the enchant depends on how strong the gem is, correct?
Correct. So, of course, if you have a higher gemstone, such as, let's say, for example, a diamond, being the
Right.
best of the best. If you had a diamond, it would be equating the damage of the bonk to a vicious mockery.
Okay.
Of
keep
course, anything else past that would, of course, change the sound of the bonk, the tone of your bonk, the reverberation of your bonk, as well as, of course, the part that I know you want, the damage, the psychological damage of the bonk.
This is so dumb. I love it. All right.
It's such a stupid joke, but I'm all for it.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so, Mr. Priest, what do you have? What gems do you have?
Well, unfortunately, the most things we have, of course, would be in religious symbols. Would be anywhere from an emerald to a ruby, and the occasional diamond.
And you said these were in your religious symbols?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Well, that's a no-go. Do you have a lord in this town?
Unfortunately, no. We are a democratically elected society.
Lovely.
We have no need for a king. At least I didn't vote for him.
Okay. Yeah.
10 points to whoever can figure out that reference.
God, that made me giggle.
Well, I didn't vote for him.
I didn't vote for him. I'm gonna take away your ice cream.
I have also watched Monty Python a bit here and there, if you couldn't guess.
Yeah, it's such a good. God, you're so good.
I love Monty Python.
Okay. I highly doubt the priest will give me one of those precious gems, because I don't think he'll just pluck it out of the the item.
Well, if the price is right, I mean, you could persuade anyone.
Well, I'm curious. I'm just curious. So, Mr. Priest, how much would it cost to acquire one of these precious gems?
Which one? Which one in particular are you looking for?
Let's go with first. Let's start with the. You said you got the sapphire.
I said emerald, but I do have some
Emerald.
sapphires.
Yeah. Okay.
I have exactly. He turns around, just kind of like looks into the interior. I have 4 sapphires.
That's a lot of sapphire.
Yes.
How much would it take to part with one of them, or rather, help me spread, or help me? How do I word this? Help me spread the religion.
Spread the word of and love of Jesus Christ.
How much would it cost to help a fellow priest out, who so graciously helped?
Raw persuasion.
Come on, baby, min-max. Ah, yes.
What'd you get?
5 plus that. That's 6.
We both rolled a 6.
That's a 5
How does that
plus
work?
7.
Wait, what'd you say?
5 plus 7. Well,
I meant
pull out
to-
my
He
fingers.
said. Wait, what happened to the 6, my buddy?
Yeah, what happened to 6?
My fellow brother in Christ, you can't just say I rolled a 6 followed by throwing out. I rolled a 17.
I had to count.
Where did the 6 come from?
He's min
You said
maxed.
5 plus
He's
7.
min maxed.
So my persuasion's plus 7, and the number I rolled was a 5, so I had to count.
He's min maxed like hell.
Yeah, I have a plus 7 persuasion.
Don't worry. He's squishy as hell otherwise.
I know.
That's what I'm for.
Why do you think my bonk stick is coming? So I can run away very fast.
Stupid.
You need some form of protection.
All right. I will go ahead and say that that'll pass. He looks at you and goes, "Well, perhaps if you can relay a message to an Actius brother of mine and give it to you for free.
Okay.
But of course, you would need to return for that."
Do you have any, like, message scrolls, or...
This, and he actually pulls out a scroll from one of his pouches and hands it to you, sealed
So
and
I have to go to Actius and back.
Oh yes, but it's free.
Oh.
And he looks at you, and immediately gives you the smuggest look. It's like, you like free, don't you?
Give you one moment.
You are.
I turn around
you're
and
a
I just slam my head against the wall.
Immediately, he just looks at you like, "Come on, priest of coin, I can tell people like you apart from us."
Oh,
Slight giggle.
They read him.
Just slight giggle. Okay, well. Okay, so how much do I really want this bonk? I really, really want it. Shit.
Oh yeah, that's the fun thing you've been missing, Jack. You've been missing a whole debacle about bonk.
Yeah, I was there when it started, but that was right when we were leaving. So
Okay.
I jumped off real quick.
No, you're
Let's
good, you're
start with the stun. Okay, a bonk needs a good stun. So, how much would it cost to apply the stun attribute to my staff?
good. Immediately looks at you and it's like, licks his lips. That's gonna be
Punch.
It's gonna be 10 gold.
Oh. How much do I want to risk another roll?
Go ahead.
Do I want to risk?
Oh,
You know
dude,
what?
you know what? Go right ahead.
No, I don't. No, I pushed my luck so far. Okay, I think we're gonna just gotta. Would this 10 gold also include the ritual of the bonk? Since I'm acquiring the emerald or sapphire rather. Sorry.
Well, the thing is, you would perform the ritual. We just provide the enchantment.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I just need to acquire the sapphire, and it just kind of auto applies after I do the ritual.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do that then. Let's get the stun.
Okay, you're gonna get the stun now.
Yeah, because I might not live enough to see the bonk, so let's do that.
All right, have some faith in yourself, damn.
Don't worry,
Lone
have some faith in
priest.
Jack.
Yeah, lone priest, wandering around, bumbling around.
All right, Amelie, as you say that you want to get that done, the priest just lets out an ear-to-ear smile. He's just like, excellent. May I have your staff?
You gotta give it back. Hand it over.
That's much better. That's more like it. Takes the staff and leads you inside to the monastery. As you enter the monastery, the smell of incense reaches you. You see through the thick haze of burning candles, burning incense. You see priests over weapons, swords, spears, shields alike, praying over them, smearing them with oils and such, chanting all kinds of incantations. All these priests, with the exception of the one that you've been, all look a little different. All these priests are wearing robes of bright scarlet with trim of gold. The priest that is accompanying you, the one you've been traveling with all day, is wearing cloak of white, gold, and scarlet trim. And this priest, as he takes your staff, places it upon an altar and pulls out an urn tied to its chain and begins pouring some kind of material in it. You're not exactly sure what you see. The dimly lit inning is a little hard to tell. And you do see, actually, let me go ahead and put on the correct soundtrack for this. Let me go ahead and set the mood just right. Let me go ahead.
Love a good mood setter.
I thought you said nude setter. I was like, what even is?
Let me go ahead and set this correctly. There we go. And as he begins to start burning and chanting above your weapon, immediately Another priest comes out, the scarlet robes draped over, face shrouded in darkness, begins chanting some incantation in a language you are not at all familiar with. Another one brings over what looks like a goblet, and in this goblet you hear a little bit of swishing, and begins to rub this oil on your weapon. The main priest, the one you've been accompanying, his eyes begin to glow a bright orange, and he begins chanting, and he reaches out to you, and in his hand, open palm to you, kind of motions you to give him both the coin and the materials required.
It over.
As you hand it over, he puts the coin on the table, and the materials, he puts them in the burner. And as he does so, his eyes begin to glow even more, and the chanting grows louder and louder. And you see your weapon begin to emit an almost static field. Lightning of blue, purple, red begin to fly from the weapon. Your staff begins to almost vibrate and shake on the table. The clattering begins to form. The other priests that were blessing other weapons stop, look towards the priest and you, and begin chanting in your direction. As they are chanting, you see the static shoot towards you, but you feel no pain. And this goes on for a few minutes. And as the priest is finishing, he hands you the staff, tells you to place your hands upon it. As you do so, he looks you in the eyes, his eyes glowing this evanescent orange. Tells you to repeat the words after him.
I repeat the words after him. Ug.
Nokast.
Nakast.
Ashtof.
Ashtof.
Arisht.
Arisht.
And you feel an almost like static shock in your hands, and the staff itself becomes attuned to you. You now have a little bit of magic in your staff. Your staff has been blessed.
I do the link thing, where he just raises it in the air.
As you do so, some of the static shoots off, and your staff emanates a slight aura of a light blue.
You shall be known as Zappy.
Chun Chun Maru. I think I'm
Love you too, Zappy.
And as you now have a slight magic to your staff.
Okay, how does the effective stun work?
So
Is it gonna be kind of like a you figure it out type deal?
So it's gonna go ahead and be like for the priest, like they have a stunning blows. It'll be equivalent to that. However, I will only allow it once per battle, or once per combat encounter, should I say?
That's kind of generous. Okay, cool.
I say that because I know a monk who used to use that a lot.
What? I wonder who that's for.
The mind is a perplexing thing.
I wonder.
Stunning strike.
So yeah, just look it up for the monk, and then we'll go ahead and add it. But like I said, it's gonna go ahead and be only once per combat encounter.
Target must succeed a Constitution saving throw or be stunned till the end of your next turn.
Yes.
Dang it. Okay.
Yeah. Again, it's pretty overpowered. That's why I'm doing once per combat encounter. So keep that in mind.
And you're saying a monk had this? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah. Tell me about
Yeah.
it. Hey, y'all remember that basilisk?
What basilisk?
Exactly.
The one you almost petrified me?
Yeah. The only reason you lived because I was like, I'll allow it.
I threw what was a ladder at it?
God, I will never get over that. anyways. As that is that all you came here for this time round?
Can I? Is it possible to enchant a staff to extend?
Do you ask the priest that, or are you just asking me
Yes.
that? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm just making sure. As you ask the priest that, he looks at you and goes, perhaps for more coin.
Much coin?
Oh.
Well, since the first enchantment is 10, the second enchantment is 20.
Oh no, it's a stacking effect.
Okay.
Maybe if you leave and come back, it'll reset.
You got a quick save.
Leave for 24 hours. Okay. Well, Bonk is free.
Why is Bonk free?
Bonk is only free if you gather
Go
materials.
get the-
Yeah.
Right. If I do
And,
the mission.
yeah, if you do the quick little side quest I've given you.
What you know I'm gonna do, you sly dog. Okay.
You sly
20
dog.
gold.
You got me monologuing.
Basically.
You play dirty, noble knight.
Literally.
How many boo?
How long does it extend?
As long as your little heart can handle.
It would depend. The more you invest, the longer it'll extend. However,
Yeah.
those are separate enchantments.
However, there's an
The
additional
enchantment of
DLC.
Viagra.
It'll be an extra gold for every half foot. So if you want a full foot, it's 2 gold.
So that's on top of the 20.
Yeah.
Oh, you're killing. Okay, is it like a a right now deal? Can I put the 20 and then later I can add like 50 feet on?
No, so you so you would have to give it
So
right then
that-
and there because the enchantment would work once, and then if you wanted to extend it again, it would be a new enchantment plus that.
Your account?
So-
A bank
That
account.
would be like a 22.
So if you wanted to enchant it, so it goes instead of just the normal 5 foot to 8 feet, it would be the 20 gold
Six gold.
coins plus 5. The difference between 5 and 8, so that's 3. So 6 gold.
I'm assuming there's no big spender discount.
Only when you're nice to
And he looks at you and immediately winks and is like, "Priest of Gold, you know we got a business to run here."
See, you're not, my future descendant. No.
Okay.
He looks at you and goes, "You might be a priest of gold, but you're not a priest of wealth."
I know, dude.
He called you bro.
I cast the spell and it makes gold coins appear and then they disappear, dude. You know how sad that makes me?
He just looks at you and goes, "Like this?" And he snaps
Don't
his
do it to me.
fingers,
Don't do it
and
to me.
gold falls into his hand and starts piling. He goes,
Just
and
depressing.
he looks at you and goes, he just looks at you as like, claps his hands, and the gold disappears once again.
This guy's a magician.
Oh, my heart. Okay, let's do your
This
mission.
guy's a phony.
Let's do your side mission.
Anyways, as you exit the monastery, you realize,
I have the scroll, right?
yes, you do have the scroll.
And did he even tell me who I need to talk to? I just a monk.
He just said the monk.
Okay, well that doesn't.
Well,
Okay, we're gonna go give it to monk.
I'm walking up to people. Are you the monk?
So, I need to go to the library. So I want to head that way first.
I was just say, as you've come out of the monastery, you realized it was dark when you came in, or getting dark, and now you come out, it's bright again.
Oh.
A night has passed.
I haven't even slept yet.
I imagine him saying that like right outside.
I'd imagine
Just
so.
like the
Screaming into
stop
the air.
foot.
Screaming into the air. I haven't slept.
Like the stop foot, like
Dappy, what do you think? No reply.
Who'd you ask?
I asked Dappy what he thought. He did not reply.
Oh, I thought you asked Dave. I was gonna say, if you asked Dave, you just.
I was gonna say, isn't Dave the name of your little thing?
Yeah, Zappy's the
No,
staff.
Zappy's the staff because, it's dumb. Alright, let's go to the library. Actually, there's an inn in town, right?
There are 2 inns.
Can I go to, the first inn to see if Party's home?
Okay, so the first one closest to you, here's the
I
so
don't like this evil giggling. This evil
So-
giggling is
no,
not
you're
very
good.
good.
You're good. Leaving the castle or the monastery, this would actually be the closest one.
Well,
Let's see which one he clicked on. Darn.
All right.
Dang it.
Sad. He
Oh,
doesn't get to go to the other one.
Ow.
The
The other one's good.
Yeah, what's so good?
Anyways, as you get to the end, the innkeeper at the time that you're coming in, it's like still early morning. The crowd that's in there is, you can tell they're either hungover or they fell asleep on the tables and are barely getting themselves back up. The innkeeper looks at you, makes eye contact with you. So let's go ahead and swap the scene. As we swap the scene, here we go.
My man threw up in his mouth.
No, I just burped. Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
As you make it there, the innkeeper is kind of wiping off glasses and wiping down counters and tables, and looks. Here's a new person come in as you enter. Turns around, and is like, "Well, another face. How can I help you?"
Hello. Have you seen a rather small, loud?
Have you seen this man? Oh, oh. Calm down, sir. It's just a... Calm
Have
down.
you seen a
It's just
druid or perhaps a secret assassin?
I can't say I have, and if I did, what's in it for me?
Well, I'm just wandering around, bumbling around, trying to find my party that's abandoned me.
You're not a cop,
No.
are you?
Do I look like a cop?
I don't know. Do I look like the queen?
You look like a bum.
You look as pretty as the queen.
Exactly. See?
She
Looks
goes
cu-
up.
You can never tell.
Never tell. Alright, well, toodles then.
Well, that was immediate. I didn't expect that to go that direction.
You know, I'm gonna keep it honest. I forgot where we were.
Y'all are there.
Jack DM me.
Alright, it's the new day, correct?
Yeah, it's one day. It's a half day before the current present time of where the rest of the party is.
Well, it is time to suit up.
It's time for Hans.
Hans.
Don't worry, kids. I'll take care of this tight lickety split.
Look at this one. Well, let's get our...
Sorry.
Turn me around. I can't see this.
No, we can't turn around. Hans.
Hans.
Anyways, yeah. So, where do you go then? So you said suit up.
Clothes maker.
Ah.
It's a new day.
And I feel.
Time to get my ghillie suit.
And I feel when the dog begins to smell.
Hans.
Well, she smells.
Okay, as you make your way to the tailor, we're immediately gonna swap scenes again because Hammy is not good at picking up subtlety.
I'm really not. I'm kind of dense.
To the clothing store.
Hammy is stupid.
As you enter the clothing store, right now you just hear the sound of people sewing, people yelling and talking, and then, of course, as you enter the store itself, you do see another set of people at the counter. Did you just send the Colossal Titan doing the Chica dance?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just looked
be
up and
someone
saw that
else.
right now.
Must be someone else.
I like how the muscles get bigger on certain parts.
I know, right?
It's like it doesn't even make sense, but they
He
get
expands.
Bucka, bucka, bucka. Anyways, as you, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm looking at the Titan. I can't help but think about it now.
Such a good dancer.
Anyways, back to the store before I get distracted. As you're in the store, you're next in line.
me million father.
Just talk to Dave. He's not very good conversation.
Just kind of smacking itself on the glass, like tink, 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 tink. It's a very audible buzz, very audible, like those industrial lights that you hear that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and then when you stand
Yeah.
too close, it's just like.
Yeah, no, literally.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong at all. It's those discount Home Depot lights. Anyways, yeah. As you're
That
there,
one scene in
you're,
SpongeBob when it blows in on the butterfly.
oh yeah, literally. Anyways, as you're up next, Hemi, the person at the counter is not the previous person y'all had met the time before, but rather a different little gnome.
I like names.
As you're there, the person at the counter just like, right, how can I help you?
I put an order in for a green garb and a ribbon.
Name.
At me.
Wait,
What is it?
oh. Name.
I think your hat,
At
sir.
me.
Turns around, it's like,
Ethnicity.
here it is. Do you have your bill of sale?
Yeah, here it is.
Okay. And just hands you the garb. Thank you
And
for
ribbon.
Thank you. Oh, that's right. Grabs this ribbon. Here you go. Thank you for shopping at Tailor Made.
Next.
Literally. Just like waves his hands like, next.
I tie the ribbon around Zappy. Like a bow.
That's kind of pretty.
I agree.
What's her name? What's your power level? Sorry.
You're stupid.
You know, pretty big. That's cool. Mine's pretty big too.
With that being said, as Hemi suits up, he puts on his robes. You gather yourself, and Hemi,
That's me.
Drippy,
Well, of course. I paid extra for this.
you are now adorned with the colors of Uskara. The green colors and the gold. You
Sorry.
see like freaking the glowing image of above you, just like, nice cock.
Shit.
The freaking Wii Sports Strike. But congratulations, Hammy. You are now dripped, as the
Green.
kids
Oh.
would call it. You are now
It
dripped.
is on brand.
You
I got the Gucci.
You are now, as the kids refer to, goated with the sauce.
Look, 50%
Oh.
clean.
Um,
Are we hitting key target audiences? Is this what the kids want?
Is this how I get my fans? By making obscure pop culture references?
Pop
How'd you
culture
know?
references.
Jennifer
Honestly,
Lawrence.
it really do be like that. Scoofa.
What kind of woman did you like? A tall woman with the big butt. Like Jennifer Lawrence. That is a scene in Jujutsu Kaisen, I promise you.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like,
No,
that's a
that is
reference.
100% like an actual scene.
Are you serious?
And
Yeah.
that's literally right before they start beating the shit out of each
Yeah.
other.
Dude,
I
find a
need to
link,
watch
find a clip of
JJK
it.
now.
My best friend.
Yeah, he's literally like, oh my god, you're my soulmate. And then they beat the shit out of each other.
I need to watch JJK. That's all that's
Dude,
solidifying.
for real, it's so good.
Hey, back to the plot. Back to the plot. Anyway, back to our plot points. Hemi, now that you are dressed in your new appropriate avatar attire now that you actually match what your character looks like on screen. What would you like to do next?
We'll check out the other tavern.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, let's go. Let's go, Dave.
As you go to the other tavern, because I only have one tavern screen, we're going to go back to the other tavern screen.
Hey, this looks familiar. Almost like I've been here before.
As you enter, no,
me.
trust me, you're going to love this one.
I always love it.
Before you enter, outside you hear a little bit of revelry. I need you, as you approach the door, you see the sign that says Gorgon Morgs. And before you enter, you see like the saloon swing doors. As you approach, I need you to make a quick dexterity save for me.
You know what? For you, I would love to.
We'll see how min-max your dex is.
Dexterity.
Trust me, it can't be a 1.
17.
Ah, congrats! As you go to reach for the door, it swings open and you see two people fighting each other, and one throws him in the mud, and you only just kind of sidestep out to avoid the splash of the oncoming muck, and just narrowly miss being tackled yourself.
And you only get a little bit of pee on you.
You get, actually, the only piss is the one you stepped in.
Well,
Your
damn.
dexterity wasn't good enough to see that one.
But
Yeah.
that one coming.
Well,
However, as you enter the bar, you see it's a little dimly lit. The consumer there is not of a higher class, and you see a rather large, orcish fellow at the bar.
this seems like the place that my party would be at.
Welcome to the Salty Spittoon. How tough are ya?
I'll eat nails with no milk.
Right this way. No, as you enter, the boorish fellow turns around. You see this pot belly, just overweight, green skin. Just turn around, look at you, and go. Right, how can I help you?
I'm looking for party members. Name of Jack and Aki. Are they in this tavern?
I heard no Jack Rocky. What it look like?
Well, Aki was about this high. I do Aki's height.
Okay.
A tad bit lower, though. You know. And then... and then I do about Jack's height, which is roughly accurate.
Okay. Alright.
Do you describe anything else about them, or you just
Yeah,
describe
then I give kind of their characteristics as well.
Now you gotta say him.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so much words.
the piss fellow! Oh yeah, the piss boy! I love the piss boy!
I lose my shit.
He got a little cover in the piss and the scum. I like to, you know what we call those kinds of peoples?
I put my arm on the counter. What?
Pathetic.
I agree. Where are they at? Do you know?
Alright, they done checked out of here this morning. So
Okay, do you know where they're going?
I don't, Golok don't ask those kinds of questions.
Okay, fair. Did they look like they were going somewhere?
As you say that, another patron from the bar kind of turns around like, right, who'd you say you're looking for?
Aki and Jack, otherwise known as Piss Boy.
Right. I saw them go to the library about earlier. I did see them take off to another inn. That little fancy piss pot himself. That elvish fellow.
Can I get one of my pieces of paper out and make the bartender sign it with piss pot?
Yeah, he signs it quite easily, but as he signs it, the bartender, he kind of signs it almost like in a chicken scratch.
Perfect. I just want piss pot and the bartender's name. For the
Right,
present.
you get the words piss pot and Golok.
Love it. All right, my dear gentlemen.
Right. And that bar patron that told you where that is, like, right, see, they went down that way, and he points to the other bar the other inn you were previously in.
never been there before. Let's go.
That's bird brain right
And we're gonna go ahead and not change the screen because guess what? I only have one bar interior, so we're gonna go to the other bar.
We reuse assets in this house.
Yeah.
there. We're gonna reuse assets and
Excuse you, it's called saving resources.
Exactly. I'll have you know, as a programmer, actually, as your fellow programmer, I like to keep as many data points available.
You know what big emoji I've been laughing at?
What's up?
Find it real quick. It's so.
You can't laugh and not share.
Is it scuffed?
It's gonna be scuffed, you know him.
It's not like scuff, but it's just.
What the hell is that? What is that?
Oh my God. That's not that scuffed, but it's kind of
No, I know.
caught your ass in 4K.
Basically.
Actually. Oh my god. It looks like Lewis. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Okay.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Go ahead and roll a D100 for me. No, I was kidding.
Oh no.
Changes outfits.
Lewis appears in the universe.
You just immediately just hear the words in your head. Totakai. Totakai. No, anyways. As you make your way back, Cammy, immediately the bartender looks at you and goes, "So you're back."
Well, hello, Queen. I'm back.
So, what can I help you with this time around?
So I heard you had a piss pot in town. Or in this tavern, rather.
He looks a little confused at the words piss pot and looks at you like, "Oh, you've been at the old piss and swell over there with Gork and Morks, haven't you?"
They were an enjoyable bunch.
Ah.
I have a question.
What's up?
Are we currently in the inn?
Yes, y'all would have
Thank
just
God.
gotten here.
Just got in there?
Yeah, like y'all would have just made y'all's way to the room.
I'd like to walk out of the room and trip down the stairs.
Go, like, actually trip?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll a dex sit check for me, just to see if you make it down hurt or if you make it down broken.
Like to make it down broken.
Go ahead
Thank
and
you,
roll.
dice. 8.
8, yeah. You're gonna go ahead and land. As you land, let's go ahead and roll. You're gonna take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of freaking skippity bop down the stairs.
I just realized that's probably like $40 worth of popcorn she dropped.
Probably.
Good God. Such a waste.
Right?
But yeah, as you fall down the stairs, you're like, and you fall.
Skinny
Like,
up.
and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. And
That's a lot of damage.
Hammy, you would notice a relatively familiar-looking piss pot.
Hey, piss pot!
Give me just a second.
He said, "Hold up." He's like, "I gotta prepare and scene."
When you get into the character.
Man said, "Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the cheeks. Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips," or something like that. He's freaking just doing them exercises.
Woodchuck.
I think to be fair, I think he did get called away. Not gonna lie. It's like,
Yeah, I need to go to the restroom. I'll be back.
all right. A quite literal piss pot break.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's about accurate. I mean, we've been doing this for an hour and a half, so I mean, this is probably a good point to take a break.
That's fair.
So, I'm gonna go throw my trash. I'm gonna go ahead and put us to the be right back screen. back.
How much did you say again? Sorry.
You took 4 points of bludgeoning.
20, 19. No.
So that's 20 points.
And as we left off, Hammy, you see a very familiar piss pot.
Best pot.
Those stairs hurt. I stand up. Hammy! What are you doing? Where were you at, ugly?
Bumbling around. I got a pet. His name is Dave.
Let's see it.
You want to see what it can do?
Yeah.
Here, hold it right. You hold it. I just hand it to Aki. Look at it. Look at it. Aki, look at it.
I look very closely.
Dave, flashbang.
Baka Kazuma.
Flash. Think fast, Choco Nuts.
X. Aki, I need you to go ahead and roll me a we'll go ahead and say a con save.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Your favorites, I know.
18 actually.
18. Okay, cool. As this flash hits you, and your vision slowly comes back. You hear all too familiar. A cart. And you hear a voice. Finally awake, are you?
Oh no.
And then immediately you snap back to reality.
Back to reality.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And yeah. So as Aki awakens once again, you he's
I start rolling my eyes.
not completely stunned, but you're just like, wow, that was bright.
Its name is Dave.
Where am I at? Since is this like after I already?
Yeah, you had just
had that.
You would have just stepped out, just prior to Hammy coming in.
You should have rolled a perception check, man.
So we are now at current time.
I started looking around like, nice.
Nice.
So Aki, where is everyone?
I started to like roll my eyes, fixing them.
I imagine all the munching and all the snacking is in character.
Yes. It's always gonna be in character.
All right.
I'm just looking around like, the stairs, up there. Yeah, let's go. And I just turn around and start walking, without thinking if he's actually following. I just.
Dave, return.
Hammy, do you follow?
Sure.
Okay.
I do a majestic bow to the bartender. See you later, Queen.
He nods at you.
And then I head up
Later, my queen.
From while I'm walking forward, can I hear him?
Yeah, I would say within earshot. Yeah.
I just yell out, "That's a guy, not a girl."
Queens can be guys too.
Oh, women are queens.
If she breathes,
she's
she's a thought.
Anyways, as you do that, as y'all make your way to the room, Aki, you notice there's only one other person in there.
I look around. Man, where's the other?
Yeah, it's right now. You only see Bixie on the floor near the fireplace, all curled up into a ball.
I look at her. She sleep.
Mad Shalom.
Does she have a blanket over her?
She is in blankie mode.
I gave her my big blanket, remember? From the bed.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
he was drunk. He doesn't remember.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Jack's from the equivalent of like Siberia, so he's like, oh yeah, thin little blanket, it's already too hot.
My friend, I am from Siberia. The cold does not bother me anyways.
The snow blanket, the only blanket I need.
I just have to let it go.
Oh god.
Today's just a day of references.
I look around and I'm going like, Jack's somewhere. Huh. I just shrug my shoulders.
Did y'all check out the library?
Yeah.
What's the info
It
on
was
that?
scary.
Yeah, got me.
No info for you, scary. Book scary.
As y'all meet, we're gonna go ahead and switch perspectives one more time. We're gonna switch over to Jack to push the narrative along. So Aki and Hammy, we'll come back to you here in a minute.
Okay.
Jack, we're gonna go ahead and take your perspective. As you are leaving the inn, the barkeep kind of looks at you, kind of gives you a wink, and motions with his hand 5, like the number 5, kind of indicating to you that he'll meet you out in 5 minutes.
Got it.
As you make your way out, you leave the bar, and you have successfully snuck away from the party.
I didn't even sneak. I just fucking walked. Nobody was paying attention.
That's fair. Yeah, we'll, sneak if it was directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah, you right.
Quite literally. So yeah, as you make your way out, we're gonna go ahead and say yeah. Are you making your way towards the orchard as instructed?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. As you make your way to the orchard, we're gonna go ahead and swap scenes now. Before you even get to the orchard itself, outside near the gate of the farm, or not the farm, sorry, the orchard itself, we're gonna go ahead and look at my notes now because we're finally on my notes.
Right.
As you leave and actually make contact, at the orchard, you see a small group, a little gaggle of 3 lightly mismatched armored gentlemen, as it were. I'll say that. And all of them are around this little cart. One of them makes eye contact with you. He's like, right, who's this bloody fool? And the other 2 immediately turn around, look at you, and make eye contact with you. And look in your direction, Jack.
I'm looking to see, do they also have, like, any sort of, similar tattoos to what I have, like, that I would know would be like, oh, that's a sign of,
Go ahead and roll perception for me.
That is a natural 19.
As you look at them, nothing really stands out as triad to you. You would know these more are like hired hands. You remember that these look more like they are from the Talon Company, which is one of the local mercenaries, one of the top 3 mercenary groups of the area. You can know that because on their armor plates, wherever there actually is an armor plate, you see what looks like a hippogriff's talons.
Okay, and they're called the Talon Company?
Correct. As you do that, the three blokes come up to you a little bit closer, like, right, are you a contact? I was told to be an elf.
Oh, he's on his way. He got held up at the bar.
Right. As you say that, and the leading brigand looks at you, you all kind of hear a familiar voice. That same voice you remember from the bar kind of appears behind you. Well, hello, my lovely tall little friend.
Lovely tall little friend, that's great.
I'd say it's perfect timing on your part. Now, let's go ahead and fill you in on the details of this actual job. So you can see I have a little hired muscle. And he looks at them. It's like, aren't you just a lovely bunch? Looks back at you. As for you, I don't know your particular skill set just yet. But I would like to. Of course, for now, I think you'll make a great lookout.
That I can do easily.
Perfect. I would like for you to keep an eye out, of course, if anything decides to come our way. And then the first sign of trouble, you just let us right know. And he hands you what looks um, like a cylinder of sorts. If anything happens, you pull that little string right there at the bottom, and boom, we'll send out a little firecracker, we'll call it. That'll be our sign to ditch the scene. But only strike it if you see anyone coming up the road. So I make myself clear.
Yes, perfectly.
Amazing, outstanding. See, this is why I like you, my tall friend. I like you. Now, I'll go ahead and say this. What I'll go ahead and do is, if nothing goes wrong and all goes well, I'm gonna reward you very handsomely. Right, what about us? I'll get to you here in a minute. I will pay you once the job is done. Now, my tall friend, come along. He starts taking you on the way to the actual door near the actual house of this orchard. As you get closer to the house, the barkeep cracks his knuckles and says, "This is gonna be fun. You two," and he looks at the two of the brigands, not the leading one. "Go to the barn, get it prepped. You, knock out a tree or two. Do whatever you need. We're gonna send a signal. We're gonna send some messages." My tall friend, you might want to go ahead and start looking out now. And he kind of like tells you to turn around and kind of face the roadway. And he immediately starts hammering on the door. "Come on, Guntrick, open up. I need to talk to you." And just starts banging on the door.
Time to roll perception.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
18.
You see nothing. You can hear. However, now that you're actually actively listening, you can hear what sounds like stumbling and like footsteps above you, or above and behind you. And then the knocking gets louder. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
In the tree, or would I reckon that's from like upstairs in the house?
It would be upstairs in the house.
Oh, okay.
The knocking gets louder, and immediately the innkeeper's like, "Come on, Gundrick, don't make me come in there." Immediately the door. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Jack was gonna take a quick glance at the noise that I was hearing to see if I see what they're doing. Just like a real quick passing glance.
So I'll say, I'll still say because you rolled high enough, you do notice like what looks like 3 shadows. One of a smaller stature, and 2 of a medium stature. And the smaller stature, you can kind of see at that quick glance, it looks like it's pushing the 2 medium-sized statures away.
Got it.
And then you hear doof, 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 doof. You hear coming down you can hear what he hears like coming down some steps or so. And the door opens, and immediately you hear the innkeeper. "Well, Gundrick, it's nice to see you. Mind if we come on in?" And you just hear the voice behind you is like, "It's not a good time right now." It's like, "Oh no, this is a perfect time. Get him." And immediately the brigand that was next to you, you see him kind of like bum rush, and immediately you hear what sounds like a tackle. And from this bodies of just smacking on the ground, you just hear like struggling like, "Ugh. Right, so you got me. What are you gonna do?" And you just hear the innkeeper's voice just, "Oh, I'm gonna take what's owed to me. Mr. Talon, take him to the barn." And then as he says that, you see the other brigand that went to the barn previously. He's like, "All right, boss, it's all ready for him. Ah, perfect. Go snoop inside and go see if you can find what I'm looking for. We're gonna take it back. I'm gonna take what's owed to me. Oh, my tall friend. Do keep an eye out.
I will.
Lovely. As you're pretty much focusing on the street, you're gonna go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Let's go ahead and see how high you roll.
Ooh, that is a nat 20 on this new dice I got.
Freaking
Hooray.
perfect.
It's just the d20.
No, you're good. As you're doing, as you perfectly roll, you're intently listening now at this point. You're hearing like shattering of like what sounds like dishware, throwing of furniture, and then you hear what sounds like a squawking. You're not sure where the squawking's coming from. You just hear it. On the street itself, all seems pretty clear. You do see deer in the distance that are just walking from one side of the path to the other side of the path. Not much else. And you suddenly hear a loud crash. On this loud crash, you hear what sounds like muffled conversation. You can't exactly make out the words, but you do hear a little bit of laughter. And immediately, the innkeeper comes out. And as the innkeeper comes out, he's carrying a cage with him. And in this cage, you see what looks like a bird of some sort. You see a long, almost serpent-like tail that ends almost in a spade-like shape. The bird itself has a rather flat beak, that of like a duck. And his feathers are almost iridescent, almost like an oil slick. They turn from a purplish red to a green, and then a dark, deep blue.
Pretty.
And as it kind of like flaps in its cage, you see like an almost very, very faint blue glow underneath the wings as it flaps.
Magic bird.
Immediately, the innkeeper looks at you and just goes, "It's pretty, isn't it? Call it a photovoltaic spade tail."
It's quite beautiful.
And very worth the money. Now you see, I'll go to give you a little story here. Gundrick over there owes me quite a bit of money. You see these birds? These birds fetch you a good price on the black market. He said that their eggs can predict the future, if the proper ritual is conducted. I will test that theory. But for now, I'm gonna go speak to Gundrick. I'm gonna leave the bird here with you. And like I said, if you see anything, let us know.
Of course.
And we're gonna go
Jack's
ahead.
gonna hold take the cage and then like gently put it like at his like feet.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
then go back to like standing
I'm gonna go
at
ahead.
attention.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and say while that's happening, go ahead and roll another perception check just real quick.
That is a 16.
As you kind of looking around, you look above and you see the sky's almost an illuminated like glow of orange. And now you realize you're feeling a bit of a heat behind you. As you turn around, you see a few of the orchard trees are ablaze. And you can deduce this is the message that they wish to send. And I'm gonna go ahead
You
and
did say to take out some trees.
You did indeed say take out some trees. While that's happening, I want Aki and Hammy want both of you to roll a perception check for me.
I would love to do that.
Bro, not once. Could you imagine?
I would actually be a little upset, but it'd be funny.
13.
How much?
13.
Okay, Aki, what did you roll for perception?
19.
Okay, perfect.
Ooh.
Yeah, perfect. Both of y'all would see. Both of y'all from the hotel room or the inn room that y'all are in. I keep saying hotel. From the inn room that y'all are in, out the window you see a bright orange glow.
Sun.
Shiny.
You see almost like a raging inferno from where you are. Correction, not a raging inferno. You can see like what looks like flames that are coming up like the beginning of an inferno, should I say?
I tap on Hammy. That don't look like no sun. That looks like fire.
The sun
Yeah,
is
go
on
look.
fire.
Yeah, but
Do we
like-
wake up Bixie?
Nah, just leave her. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know why, but I just imagine like Bixie, because she mentioned how like she was sleeping like a little dog curled up. I can imagine this is the one point where she like stretches and does the layout on the side.
Right? This is where you see like the one leg from where they're chasing something in their dream.
Yeah, you see like the little twitch, the. My dog barks in her sleep.
I would imagine Bixie lets out like little yelps at a time.
Little boof.
Boofs. Anyways, as you do that, yeah, you head towards the glow, and as y'all do so, Aki and Hammy, I'm gonna need you to roll a. Are y'all just like approaching up the trail?
I'm flying.
Okay. If you're flying, are you just flying solo? Or are you taking Aki with you, like on you, carrying him? How is that going?
Yeah, I'll just.
Angie? Karaoke? I thought we
Aki's
discussed.
small.
I
That's
thought we
true.
just-
small.
Aki
I
is
thought-
pretty thick. I forgot.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
bounce him, but I can't carry him.
Bounce like a basketball.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he's not a. He's kind of hefty.
So I can like
He's bigger than.
I can
That
bounce
hammy.
him. I can bounce him, but I can't actually like solidly carry him. I'm by myself, I guess, just kind of advanced scouting.
I'm bowling, walking.
Okay. As y'all are doing so, as you're flying, Hemi, I'm gonna go ahead and say you can make a perception check to see ahead of you since you're scouting, just to kind of see where that inferno's coming from.
That's a 11.
That's fair. You know it's the general direction of which you're flying. You know it's in the trees.
That's helpful.
The Vietnamese.
Oh no.
So that's that cry I heard.
Oh my god. As y'all are making y'all's way there, I'll go ahead and say y'all are making y'all's way there. Are y'all trying to as y'all get closer, do y'all intend to sneak up or anything like that, see if it's anything, or y'all just walking plain as day there?
I want to sneak.
Look at Aki. Okay, we're sneaking.
Okay, so both of y'all go ahead and roll.
Just pretend you're a bird.
Yeah, literally.
Quack! Quack!
Go
That's all
ahead
I
and
Quack.
I'm just a very fancy messenger pigeon.
yeah, literally.
They tripped me out.
Go ahead and roll a. Go ahead, both of y'all roll, or one of y'all can roll it, or both of y'all can roll it, and we'll
What
take
do
the
you-
average.
Last 20.
Average. Does it
And
have an average?
I'll just divide them by 2.
A lot of numbers.
What was
Class?
it? Stealth?
Yeah, I got
Yes,
class
stealth.
at 20.
I got 21.
Ooh.
So we'll just round it up to, what is that? That's 41.
21.
So we'll just round it to 21. So, Jack, while they did that, go ahead and roll a perception check for me. I'm laughing. She's like, nat 20.
She's
So-
like 55.
Here it comes.
Nat 20.
Oh my
Bruh.
god.
Dale.
I rolled it and I was like, oh, that's great.
That's actually kind of nutty.
Check 'em. You're
It's
cheating.
like, nah.
Even though they're sneaking, Jack, you see something in the distance, and what gives it away? You see
My horn.
You see
Quack.
you see green. You see
Quack.
green with you see a glistening gold.
You say green in a forest.
Yeah, it sounds like, wait, hold on, they're in the forest technically. Well, technically you would see the glow of the orange. So technically it would be a greenish orange, but you do see the glistening of gold. And then you
So
see,
sad you
sticking
changed
out
it.
of nowhere, you see gray. Like, not like a gray of the shadows, but like gray of someone
Gray.
familiar you've seen.
How far along the road are they?
Close enough.
Within 75 to 100 feet.
So they're coming up the road.
Yeah, they're further up on the road, but they're on their way. You can kind of see them like trying to be sneaky about it, but they're like kind of sneaking towards you.
They don't see me yet, right?
I'm gonna say
No.
we didn't even look
Yeah.
yet. We were just
We weren't looking around.
Yeah,
we
they're
just
more focused on the fire, right?
Yeah.
creepy crawling up it.
Basically.
Perhaps a quack here and there.
Shiny.
Well, Jack is nothing but a man of professionalism. That cylinder? Because it doesn't look like they're gonna stop coming, right?
No, they're still approaching on you.
Alright.
Because I
Pulling that
see.
cylinder string.
Okay. As you pull the cylinder string, in the sky immediately, bright yellow comes up, followed by trails of green, and immediately you hear inside the house, you yourself, Jack, would hear like a scream, and then you would hear the window open up. It's like, Amelia, you hear a voice. Who is it? Where are they? What's going on?
Strangers coming up the road.
Right. I'm on my way. And then immediately you hear just, shut up you! And you hear a smack and a screaming stops. And then you hear a second set of screams. Aki and Hemi, as y'all are approaching y'all's way closer and closer. I'm assuming you're using your full method, your full movement. What were you gonna say?
I said, is that Captain Price?
Stupid.
Went Bravo Dark.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Soap trusted you. I thought I could too. So why the bloody hell does Makarov know you? Now, immediately as y'all are doing that, y'all see the bright sparkle in the sky, and realize, as the illumination begins, you look in front of you, and you see Jack is the one holding the signal flare.
Just wave.
As you wave, Jack, you see a very familiar person looking at you and waving at you. They're about now 50 away from you, 50 yards. Or 50 feet, whatever I said.
I think you said we were 75 to 50 feet out, and
Yeah.
now we're
50,
close.
y'all are now like 50 feet out.
No, he said 75 to 100.
Shut
before.
up, ugly.
Come on, doofus.
Yeah, y'all are now 50. Y'all are now 50 feet away. You are well within, like, y'all can tell each other apart at this point.
Well, we found
I
Jack.
do like the little squinting. Hey, it's Jack.
Well, that's where.
Immediately,
That's
as y'all
right.
notice that, besides Jack is
uh,
now a new person.
Jack made a friend.
Who's beside me?
Now would be, let me go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and place markers on the screen. So let's go ahead
boy.
and do this.
You know where we're at.
Yeah, that way I can kind of give y'all like a rough placement.
Be a special tool to help us out later.
Oh my god, this map is huge.
Yeah, this map, I purposely picked this map because it's huge.
I was like, where are the icons that I saw like the little
Huge.
dot move, and I was like, oh shit,
Oh, damn.
all the way in the corner.
Yeah. If that's supposed
Is
to be
it,
50 feet,
uh,
this map is huge.
Yes.
Well, 50 feet would be more like back here. I was just kind of getting my icons on the screen.
Yeah, let him place his stuff down. Ooh.
God.
Let him set his stuff up, man.
Lord.
And is the fire coming from the house or from like the woods?
Yes.
So to mark it, whoa, there it goes. That was weird. So the fire itself would be coming from over here in this general area.
Circle tool.
Bingo circle.
Yeah, keep in mind this is actually an orchard, so this is actually pretty huge.
With fruit.
So as we focus in on y'all, let's go ahead and zoom in. There we go. So as we're focusing on y'all, immediately that brigand that was next to you, Jack, looks at you like, right, I'll take the one on the right, you take the one on the left.
Jack's gonna actually kind of like pause, do a look, and be like, actually, these ones we might be able to trust.
Why'd you pull the flare?
I didn't see them that well from a bit away. They were sneaking up on me.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest though, I heard the piano and it sounded like Vegeta's theme, and I was like, what's going on here?
Oh my god,
Like,
could
get
you
pumped.
imagine?
I was like,
Anime tracks but piano versions for the rest of the campaign.
No, dude, Vegeta's theme isn't piano, it's so good.
I might look into it later.
It's been too long since I actually watched Dragon Ball. I need to re-listen to it.
Let me find it for you. Just for you.
Yeah, we'll do that here in a bit. I'll probably play it here in a minute. That might be your combat music if you encounter. Anyways,
I almost got my
Intent,
drink.
nudge, nudge.
now, anyways, as you say that, Jack, you see that brigand. They move in front of the cage. It's like, go on. How can we trust them?
They've been traveling with me for the past couple of days. I'm going to be honest, the one in the robes, the holy one, is morally ambiguous at best.
You hear that, Hammy? You're
The other
morally
one.
ambiguous.
He doesn't hear it.
Best.
Yeah, at best.
Uh, con artist,
Rude.
in actuality. And the other one is an idiot. We
Oh,
could
what?
easily trick him.
Damn, just call him out.
What did you say?
That you're an idiot.
True.
What did you say?
Panic.
What's good?
He's strong, but we can work it for our favor.
Right.
He's strong, but not bright. We could potentially trick him to be useful later.
Alright. You two, come here. And he points to you, both Hemi and Aki, to come closer. Do you come closer?
I walk forward, but cautiously. Because it's kind of weird, but like Jack is there, so it's like kind of cool.
Put my hands in my robe where no one can see it and just kind of hands on my knives.
Okay. Go ahead and sleight of hand it.
That's gorgeous. 21. Yeah. 21.
Alright, you're chilling. Yeah, you managed to kind of like hide your hands just enough that he doesn't notice you. Kind of, like I said, slide your hand where your daggers would be.
F this part.
That's fair, yeah.
Right. So you're all traveling together, all of you.
Yes,
So they left.
I would say that we're very good friends. That?
Like,
Yeah, sure.
So there's no need for that. And he points to the sky.
I look up.
Yeah, I do too.
What's in the sky?
It's like what?
So he points basically at the flare that y'all set off.
That was weird, dude.
I laugh. Oh, the pretty light.
And like I said, he looks at you, Jack. Is like, is there any need for that?
Not anymore.
He grabs the
I didn't recognize them at first.
He grabs the pipe from your hand, twirls it in the air, and you see the flare go back into the cylindrical device.
So-
Does it like noodle slurp into the tube?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and say it sounds like a noodle.
Like a noodle. Love it. Dude, that
Yeah,
makes me
sound
hungry.
effects
I
board.
haven't.
Bro,
Maybe it has
literally just
all
make all
day.
the sound effects with my mouth.
As
Let
as
me
he
get
does
one
that,
of those Gucci mics real quick.
I really want to get a good mic. But anyways, besides the point.
Besides the point.
As he does that, he goes, "All right, the you three stand watch. I have some unfinished business to take care of." As he does it,
Go right ahead.
he puts his knife back into his pouch, kind of like pulls up his pants just a little bit, like right above back normal, and goes up there into the house.
Enjoy yourself.
Oh, I will.
I just stare at him blankly.
And she goes back into the house. And
Jack.
the party is now mostly reunited.
Head
Jack,
empty.
what are we doing here, Jack?
I agree.
I got
What
the job.
are we doing here?
Ooh.
The job?
Is it good pay?
Yeah.
What job?
Yes. Yeah, they're paying us to look after this bird.
What bird?
As
Jack's gonna pick up a little cage from the floor and
as
pick
as
it up and be like,
as
"Ta-da!"
Jack picks up the cage, the two of you see a rather smallish bird in this cage with the tail of a serpent shaped into a spade, a flat duck bill, and it is a almost oil slick blue that turns into red, purple, and then green.
And
I
I
try to
try
put my finger in the cage.
As you do so, roll animal handling.
Alright.
Can I talk to
Alright.
Eric Cocken?
Hold up, what did you roll?
12.
Like
12.
finger
Let's see.
out. It's gonna bite your damn finger out.
It kind of looks at you, like tilts its head a little bit, chirps at you just a minute, but then kind of ignores you.
Man. I'm gonna take my finger out. Lame.
Can I talk to an Eric Cochran?
Is Eric Cochran a language?
Bird.
Yes, the bird language.
In bird.
Can I
You
speak
to
a caw and
speak.
crawl?
you may attempt.
I would like to tweet at it.
You said I would like to tweet, and the first thing that popped in my head was like, cancelled.
I was gonna, but I was like, nah.
It was like Twitter.
Blue notification pops up.
I imagine that's exactly how Hammy sounds talking to it.
Giant
Like-
hawk just lightly just tweeting.
That sounds nothing how he actually speaks.
Right?
We're like, it's the first time we're actually reminded, oh, this is a bird man.
Oh
By
yeah,
a
you
bird
can speak
person.
bird. No, SpongeBob, that's Italian.
Okay, what do you say to the bird?
What'd you
Just-
roll?
He didn't ask me to roll.
I didn't ask him,
Oh.
I just said, what do you want to tell it?
Darn.
Just what's he doing in a cage? My lord, translator over there.
I like the idea
Sound
that
effects,
Aki, like,
man.
low-key speaks Eric Cochran and just doesn't realize it.
Just in the background.
As you ask it that, Hammy, it just kind of looks at you, tilts its head.
So it understands me.
Technically, I didn't say it understand you. I just said it tilts its head.
Group, that means it understands me.
No, he tilted its head, it's me.
And then it proceeded to ignore him.
Yep.
As y'all are doing that,
Rude.
y'all hear the scream upstairs once again.
So like, we're just paid to watch the bird, right? We're not supposed to like.
Yeah, we don't
Man.
interfere with anything.
How much
The
we
bird
paid?
was owed.
How much to pay?
Are we getting paid
How
the
much?
same amount?
Would I know, like, roughly how much the bird would be worth in the black market?
You can roll a history check to see if you remember seeing these before.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
I got a
6.
4.
I was gonna say 5. Darn.
Damn.
You
Almost.
remember? Huh? Seen that bird before? Yeah, as of 5 seconds ago, I saw it again.
I
you're not
honestly
wrong.
do not remember. I don't exactly remember, but I know it is a very highly valued thing.
You know there's like
But-
a giant fire in the orchard over there, right?
That
Yeah,
was
what's
also
that
owed.
about?
Oh, okay.
They did some things. They brought it upon themselves, honestly.
I don't want to know.
It's
So,
best if you
like-
don't.
Do I have to ask them if I'm getting paid the same as you, or are we splitting your pay? What's going on here? How does this work?
We can split my pay.
No,
Since
but
you
like,
guys
I
want
want
the
to know,
rich-
like, are they gonna do that, or like?
I'll do that. I
Okay.
was going to essentially I was taking this job to get money for the party.
Mine.
How kind.
Yes.
How many people total are we accompanied by?
There are 4 others with us.
Alright, cool.
Are we supposed to be watching out for people?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, I turned my head to look at the road.
Alright, I'm gonna go in this
roll
tree then.
perception.
I just flap to the tree.
Perception, right?
Yes.
I can have a flaccid 20.
16.
Okay, y'all are fine. And then, Hammy, which tree are you flying to?
This one. Okay.
Whoa, I moved the map.
Oh my god, this
He's
map
like the
is
tree on the
too
map.
large.
It's like, which tree? That tree.
Yeah, it's this map is really huge when I downloaded it. Okay, y'all didn't see anything coming down the road just yet. The guy that went inside, you see a bag of trinkets get thrown out, and then soon the man comes out with a woman over his shoulder who is unconscious.
I'm sorry, did you say a woman is unconscious?
Yeah, he's carrying a woman over his shoulder, but she's unconscious.
Hammy does not see a thing. He did not look that direction.
Yeah, well, Hammy's in the tree.
Staring at the road.
It'd be for Jack and Aki.
Good.
Found the others in the house.
Oh, I found this sweet little tot. I found another one, but she has no fun.
Let I ask what you're doing there, sir?
What's the matter to you?
I just want to know.
It's best not ask questions.
He-Man Woman Hater Club. Sorry.
That was random. Okay, that was
I don't know why I thought
random.
about that. Yeah, I'm part of the He-Man Woman Hater Club.
It's harness Aki.
Could you imagine if like Aki said that out loud? It's like, ew, a woman.
Nah, man, I'm saying it exactly like that. And I hold up like a fake little badge.
Aki
You're such
Cannon
an idiot.
confirmed a woman hater club. But the He-Man woman hater club, not just any woman hater club.
Yeah, because you gotta look like
Specialty.
this, and I start flexing.
As y'all are being kind of just like joking about, you see the innkeeper and someone accompanying him follow y'all, and immediately
Is it one of the Talons or is it
it's
somebody else?
It's the main Talon that was with him.
Oh, okay.
Hey, don't we know that person?
No, that's his twin brother.
Oh, my tall
Nice.
friend. I thought you told me you'd let me know if there was anyone coming. I thought
Ah.
these were back at the inn.
Did
They're
we see
here
the
to
twin
help.
there? I start looking around like, did we see the twin at the thing?
No. He lives somewhere else.
Oh. Okay.
Right. Well, they were
This
initially.
is my party. They aren't, it's still just technically me on the job. But they're helping.
We're looking after the bird. And I point at it.
Right. Well, for your sake, I'm gonna pretend they weren't here.
They never
What's
were.
supposed to be? You don't like us?
Jack's
Well-
gonna kind of lean down and whisper, "They'll forget about this in the day. They're not that bright."
I trust
He's
you
gonna
for
whisper that to the innkeeper.
Okay.
I mean, the innkeeper's seen Aki, like when he stumbled in.
That's a
he's-
very good point.
He's scared. See him trip down the stairs and like. The priest comes in, just bumbling my way through.
Right. Well, I came here for that, and as you kind of see, he's like wrapping around his hands, and I have successfully gotten the answers I've wanted. And you see the Talon merc behind him also just kind of following, just steadily behind, slowly, just kind of wiping off his blade.
That's a clean blade you got there.
Doesn't even acknowledge you, just looks in your direction. That's it.
Fine.
And
You wanna see mine?
the innkeeper, as you do that, he looks at you, puts his hand back on his sword as if you're gonna, like waiting for you to pull yours.
Whoa. No, like, do you want to see it? I asked. It was a question.
The innkeeper just immediately looks at you like, right, so
He likes to show off, isn't that right, bud? Look at those muscles.
Is that a no?
They're already admiring your muscles.
I start getting anxious. Does he want to see the sword?
we're gonna go ahead and move on then. We came here for what we wanted, we got what we wanted.
I hug Jack and I start flexing a little bit.
He-
They don't want to see the
He looks
sword.
at you, Jack, he goes, here, your payment. Now I would like for you three to vanish. And we never saw each other tonight, did we?
Like
Of course
this, and
not.
then I throw a smoke bomb. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even think I have smoke bombs, so I
It'd be
can't
funny if
do
you
that.
did. Did you vanish?
No, but it would be better because I already know like the type of character Aki is. He'd throw it and then he wouldn't move.
Yeah.
That's it.
Stood
Yeah.
there.
That
I
sounds
always
about
see that
right.
in the shows.
Oh, they don't mention you're supposed to move.
I thought they moved you.
Take me.
But yeah.
Jack's gonna take the payment and then he's gonna call to Hammy.
Oh,
We're
What?
done. We can leave.
Amy,
Okay.
you got bird magic?
I have wings.
No, but like bird magic?
I guess.
Like magic? But with birds?
I can talk bird.
No, but like magic.
Jack's gonna kind of keep corralling them. And then as we start walking down the path, he's gonna cast merge with stone, so it's the pass without a trace.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like right before, like right in front of the party, and be like, "We have to go. Very quiet."
As,
Sneaky beaky like.
as you're beginning to leave,
Quiet?
Jack, the innkeeper looks at you and says, right, if you ever need any favors, you know where to find me. And just kind of starts waving you
course.
off.
I whisper to Jack, did I hear quiet? And then I just jump into the tree.
You don't have to go in the tree. Come down. We can walk down the road. Very
Jack.
quiet.
Isn't that Queen?
I like how that's what you're just calling him now.
No, that's not the queen.
That's his
the
brother.
twin. Get it right, duh.
Oh, okay. If you say so, Jack.
And then as we're like in front of the little road where they can still like the innkeeper can still like see us, that's when he's gonna pass without a trace as we walk off into the back to the city.
I'd like to say that I did not listen and I was just jumping through the trees.
Okay.
Sneakily.
Imagine Aki just hitting every branch.
Quote unquote sneakily.
Just hitting every branch.
I'm not gonna be
I
jumping
mean, I
from
probably
branch.
cast it before you took off, so you still get the.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Chief. I don't even know what that does.
It adds to your stealth.
Cool.
So technically, actually, you are being sneaky.
Technically, you are.
Yeah, because it adds a +10 to your stealth.
As y'all make y'all's way back to the inn, we're gonna go ahead and face a transition.
Betsy. I've seen this place before.
You'll have returned to the inn.
The
And
inn.
at the bar, you already see the innkeeper back. And he goes, "Welcome back, my friends."
Hello.
I feel like we probably got there ahead of time because like I had to like keep corralling Aki back. I was the equivalent of that picture, you know, where they see it's that girl with the 2 kids on the little backpack harness leash.
Oh yeah,
Being like pulled in 2 different directions.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Me walking in.
All right, but yeah, as y'all are back in the inn, what would y'all like to do?
Is Bixie still sleeping?
Always.
Yeah, it's like nighttime, so sleep, slump.
She's gonna be asleep, alright? Just like.
Oh, Jack,
she's just
Jack,
gonna be asleep.
Jack. Here, hold this guy. His name is Dave.
Jack's gonna like hold Dave.
I gasp.
Bang.
Dave! And I grab him.
Flashbang.
Go ahead and roll the con save then, X.
Yeah.
Do I have to do it too since I was holding Dave?
No,
No,
I
because
him.
Aki took Dave.
Oh.
What was the Constitution save?
Yes, it's con.
18.
18, you're fine.
Woo.
Take Dave back.
The Birdman's gonna. You wanna hear me speak Italian?
Anyways, you're done. As you've done so, yeah, y'all are back at the inn.
Probably take our rest then since it's nighttime and I don't think Hammy has slept.
I have not slept for 2 days.
So he is exhausted, probably.
Just a little bit.
So yeah, as y'all go ahead and take a long rest.
How much?
Everything. It's a long rest.
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna say.
Long rest.
How much gold are we splitting?
Yeah, I'm gonna look through the reward.
It is 50 gold.
Aki is asleep on the bed.
I want to polish my new staff, Zappy.
So yeah, you can split up the gold however you would like.
Let's see. So that's, I think, 16 gold for each? I think.
It would be
Yeah,
16
fine.
with one person getting 17.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Well,
it's
I'll keep.
17.
I'm gonna give both Aki and Hammy 16 gold each.
Oh, you're so nice.
So add that to your inventory, kids.
What was it?
16.
16 gold.
Going straight into my extendo staff fund.
Oh, I forgot how to add for like a second.
mood. That was me earlier.
I don't know why, but I can imagine like Hammy no longer being frugal just to be like in character, but like it's actually all going to a fund. So one day he's just gonna rock back up with like 40,000 gold and be like, I have a request.
You know that staff from Sun Wukong? I want it.
You know Son Goku?
Okay, so now is the next day. As y'all have awoken, Bixie is not in the inn, but you three are.
Where's that stupid dog?
Jack, what did you find in the library? Aki wouldn't say.
Oh yeah, he had trauma with that.
Don't
And
even
I'm
get
gonna-
up.
Is it because it had words?
Nah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And it's like, so we do have 4 of the books actually here with us that I'm probably gonna like grab from the nightstand and like put them. I guess hand them to Hammy.
Stay
Is this
away
gonna
from me.
kill me if I open it?
Stay away from me.
No, they're just
Forbidden
regular
knowledge.
books.
Get away.
Guess I just
Oh.
go through it.
Stay away.
And then I'm gonna tell him all about the stuff that I kind of found out while we were going through the library. So things like the dreams, and how like prophecy dreams are from like near death, and like jade has different meanings based off of the shape and the cut, and like what our warning meant.
Yeah.
How it was like improvised and rushed.
So yeah, that's fine. So basically, Ray, yeah, all of that, basically catch you up to speed. Y'all are now in this prophecy, and y'all have to figure out who warned you and where to figure out this information from. And what y'all would have remembered from the last time y'all had read it to, you remembered something about the oracles.
Oracles could use dreams to see the near perfect future.
There's a name for that.
However, if y'all would like to read in the books a little bit more, or if you want to find further knowledge of the books, that is entirely up to you at this point in time. We are currently, like I said, y'all just know there's some oracles, prophecies, jade is all involved, but you don't exactly know from where else the rest of this prophecy or where these oracles are.
We could go talk to the wizards. I know for a fact one of them name is Harry. And
Did I finish reading all the books? I don't remember.
You did not. The only one you didn't finish was the oracle. You went through about halfway through it, but there's still a little bit you didn't leave. You didn't have on there, so you can finish reading that up, and that wouldn't take you very long.
I imagine this is like over the breakfast table, like in like the little dining area of the inn, like just like talking books while Aki's just like stuffing his face with food.
While he's
intellectual conversation. Nice.
Yeah. As you're reading the book, you find out that the oracles they follow a route where
Like a speed run?
every so many years they will meet at a certain place. However, right now, the next place they're going, you're not quite sure because you're not exactly sure how to interpret this pattern just yet. It's almost a little ambiguous. However, you do know the next meeting is within the month. That you can interpret, you just cannot interpret the location so far. And you do know that there are 2 ways to find these oracles. You have now read that the ways to find them are through figuring out the puzzle of the locations, or using a spade tail's egg.
assuming Spade Tail is like some sort of critter.
I'm assuming Spade Tail is the thing that we saw earlier, Ray. You know, as he said, Spade Tail. But you know.
Yeah, it's using the egg from that bird from earlier.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
But
was
I don't think they would actually know that because
But we wouldn't know that. I'm just telling Ray because
only Jack knows the name of the bird. They're just like, ooh, bird.
Ooh, bird.
Yeah, that's true. Which, I mean, granted, you're the one reading, so it makes sense for you.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can just sit there and look at that stuff, man. Scary. That was said to Jack, yes. From Aki.
Okay, cool.
Love Aki.
It's not that difficult.
It's so like
Not at the table.
Why do you get a bucket?
Nasty. So what'd you get from that vial thing?
And I'm gonna tell them essentially the info we've just got.
To the power of you listening, you now know what was spoken.
Through the power of metagaming and not being the actual character, you kept up with the conversation.
Did you say Spade Tail in your sentence?
Yeah, so there's you either figure out the puzzle of where they meet, or you use a spade tail egg.
Puzzle?
But
or
that
egg?
also could
But
not be the best option, depending on.
Does it
The
just
egg?
say figure out the puzzle, or does the puzzle include?
Is the
Well,
puzzle
I mean,
included?
I tell them about the spade tail egg, but I wouldn't tell them what a spade tail is. I wouldn't tell them that it's the bird that they saw last night.
Yeah.
I would like to try to use my brain and be like, Spade Tail?
Dust off
Is a
cobweb.
spade a shovel?
Go ahead and roll survival.
I'm good at those. 18.
That is indeed a shovelish.
So we need a bird with a shovel tail. Got it.
Can't we just tape a shovel to a bird?
No. I think the bird has to have the shovel already.
Like how big of a shovel?
I don't know. I just said.
Is the innkeeper around?
The
Is he within hearing distance of this conversation?
right now, as you're mentioning that, it is not the innkeeper that y'all know. It is a different person at the bar right now. One
And they
that
also hear this conversation?
I would say not really, because y'all are kind of speaking amongst yourselves.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to turn around and ask them if they know about any birds.
Shovels for thing.
Birds with shovel tail.
Wait, who do you ask?
The innkeeper that's there.
Do you go to the table, the counter, and ask, or do you just ask?
No,
on
I
your turn?
want to yell.
From the table.
Just being loud.
Yeah.
The worst type of people.
Hello? Do you know any birds with shovels for tails? Or something like that?
As you say
I
that,
don't
what's your AC?
16. Oh no.
That's an evil giggle.
Oh.
That's an evil giggle.
I rolled an 18 to be fair.
Oh, shit.
As you roll that, you see a knife just fly from across the way and land, not on you, like actually hurting you, but pins your shirt to the wall.
Hey,
Piss
this is
someone off.
new, bro.
And then as you said that, the innkeep that y'all know and have seen comes up to you and goes, "Now where have you heard that before?"
Hey, it's Queen.
Never heard what before? Shovel? I don't know, around? People use shovels all the time.
Roll.
This is dead
Jack
serious.
is a very
No lying,
disappointed
this
mother.
is just dead serious.
Roll persuasion for me, just to see if he believes your stupidity.
Oh, why wouldn't he? Where's that?
Hand on head, just
Where's the
shaking it.
7?
It's like the the wine mom equivalent of the disappointed face.
You rolled what?
17.
He's not sure if you're being stupid or if you're playing. So he looks at you, Jack. What do you
We're
get this
reading this book about oracles, and it mentioned that the way to find them is using a spade tail egg, but they've never seen a spade tail before.
As he,
It's one of those, like,
as you said,
big dog.
he looks at you and goes, "Best you don't go asking about that here."
Well, you could have said that.
I think he did, Aki.
No. I don't do well with hints. I'm stupid. I need visual.
Aki,
And
he threw
you
a,
know,
he,
like,
Aki, he threw a knife at you.
yeah, but like he didn't say why. You know.
He just looks. He looks at
And
you
that's-
three and looks at you, Jack. Is like, "Look, there's a rule here, and you broke that rule from last night. I need you to get out of here before I change my mind."
I wasn't told about rules.
Rules and regulations.
Every inn has rules.
Every place has
Did they read them
rules.
to us? I don't know, man.
A lot of them are unspoken.
How am I supposed to know them? I want to take the
It
dagger
didn't
out.
pick up on the mic, but Jack definitely
Oh.
sighed.
Okay.
The long-suffering sigh of a mother disappointed.
I was gonna say, as y'all do that, the barkeep looks at you, and he holds up 10 fingers. One goes down.
I think it's time to go.
Another one goes down.
I think it's very time to go.
I just take out the knife and stick it into the table and just, I don't know, whatever, man. Don't tell me the rules. Just start walking out.
Bye, Queen.
Jack's gonna follow.
He looks at you, Jack, and just like, with 2 fingers from his eyes to your eyes.
Jack's gonna kind of shrug as a kind of like a, what can you do?
I kick a rock in the dirt. I hate it here.
You have now been banned from the inn.
Amy walks outside, then kind of looks back and said, "I think we're forgetting someone."
Hmm? What are you talking about, Bixie? She wasn't even in the place, bro.
In the tavern?
No, she wasn't there.
If
We
you say
woke
so.
up and she was gone.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now that you're out,
Good
Of the
breakfast, though.
what would you like to do?
We should probably head back to the library to see,
All right.
and then we can ask about that, the wizards you mentioned?
Wizard
Yeah.
of Oz?
Actus.
Act,
Actus. Something like that.
Wait. Can I see if that sounds familiar?
If what sounds familiar.
Act.
Actus.
Yep, whatever he said. Whatever he said because, you know, been around.
You can.
What do I roll?
History.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Okay.
You didn't say. 15.
You know it's one of the main cities, as it is one of the chairs for the Grand Council.
Yeah, I know that place. I've been there.
You've not been there.
No, I've been there. Trust. Sorry, stressed me, bro. Yeah, I know that place. I've heard about it. It's a big fancy.
I just look at Jack. All right, let's go.
You don't believe me?
To the library!
Walk away from Hockey.
load image. There you go.
Hey, look, it's books. Ooh, scary.
I'd like to ask the librarian if she has anything more child friendly.
She immediately just looks at you and is like, no.
Man. Okay. I just want to sit at the entrance.
You sit at the entrance sulking in
Ouch.
vast amounts of copium.
Yes.
Jack and Hammy, what would y'all like to do here?
I'm following Jack's lead. It's my first time here.
Oh yeah, because he went mostly religious places.
Yes.
Jack's gonna come in. The librarian's out like at her counter, right? Like her
Yeah,
area.
she's at her desk as per usual.
All right, Jack's gonna come and because I finished the last of the books, so now I'm gonna return them.
Okay. As you return them, since it's only been a little bit, it's been literally only like a few hours when you really think of it in the grand scheme of things. So it's only gonna be payment for 1 day,
Okay.
which I believe. What did I say that was? I gotta find it. I wrote it here somewhere. That's too far back. It's only it's only gonna be it's 1 copper per night per book.
Man, that's inexpensive for books back then.
Oh,
That's a good deal.
it's a library. It's just rental.
Right, but books are super expensive.
So that's gonna be. So how many books did you take again? Just 2 or 3?
4, I believe, because there was 8 total that we found.
That's
We looked
right, that's
through
right.
the 4 there in the library, and then we took the 4 that had like the most info marked down for us.
Right. So
With
yeah.
us.
So if it's gonna be the 4, so it's gonna be for each night. So it's only 1 night. So it's 4 copper. So not that much.
Oh, okay.
And I asked the librarian if they have any how-to books.
On what exactly?
How to fire and load and operate a crossbow.
I would say there is.
This is kind of a commoner weapon.
Yeah, this is and this is a pretty huge library. So there would be. She kind of points. She, in her hand, she summons up like a rodent, and the rat starts scurrying off, and she points at you, just says, "Follow it."
Sure, because rats and birds go great. Okay, cool. I follow the rat.
And it takes you to a section of books about the usage of certain weapons.
Great.
You're free to explore to your heart's content.
Would I be able to acquire a proficiency in said crossbow by reading the books?
You would gain an understanding, not a proficiency, because you would need to actually be able to fire the weapons. You would just know the manual of arms. So you wouldn't gain proficiency. You would gain the ability to use them if you weren't proficient, not proficient. I'm sorry, if you weren't able to use them before.
What's the difference? Just curious.
So
Like practically wise.
Yeah, because I thought technically you could technically use any weapon you get your hands on. It's just
that's true.
whether you have disadvantage or not, I think, or something like that. I don't
Technically,
remember.
yes. So if you were proficient with it, that means you're not going to be at a disadvantage. Meaning, if, for example, you would need to load a crossbow after each shot. Well, without proficiency, technically speaking, you would need to roll to figure out how to load the crossbow. However, if you are accustomed to using it, thus gaining like proficiencies after practice, then you would not need to roll because then you just know, oh, it's 1, 2, 3, load.
What's the difference between understanding and proficiency?
So an understanding would mean it's
You just have to actually practice with it afterwards?
and you would not be at a disadvantage when trying to roll for figuring it out in this case.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So
All
yeah,
right.
technically speaking, you could now use it, and you're not
You
going to be
still
at a
have to roll.
Yeah, you still have to roll, but you're not going to be at a disadvantage, being one under pressure, two never using the platform before.
Okay, cool.
And then of course,
Makes sense.
once you actually practice, then you would be able to gain a proficiency with it.
Makes sense.
Okay, so it's the equivalent of like reading up on how to do it and then actually doing
Yeah,
it. So it's
you've read the manual for how to do it, and now you just got to actually do it in practice to know. Oh, okay, that's how you do it. Muscle memory. You know what I mean?
knowing it in theory, but not in execution yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Makes
theory and practice. There you go.
All right.
I like the direction this bird is going.
And yeah, so you're gonna go ahead and do that. With that being said, though, Jack, what are you doing now?
I said I wouldn't return to the books, right?
Yes, you had just returned the books.
Alright, well, since the librarian's there, I'm going to ask about them. My friend mentioned something when we saw each other finally again. Something about Actis. What is that and where is it? He mentioned something about wizards. And being able to figure out a bit more about this prophecy.
As you say that, the librarian looks at you and is like, well, that depends. What exactly did they mention? There is a mage's college, but there's one in each of the territories. So I'm curious if he mentioned anything in particular.
I think he did. Did you?
I didn't. I just said wizards.
Yeah,
And
he mentioned
and the
something about like a
location.
wizard school and
Yeah.
Actis, and that was it.
Yes.
Okay, so you did mention Actius.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I just missaid it because that's what I wrote down.
Actis.
Yeah, you look dumb. Okay. As you do say that, then the librarian looks at you. Well, if it is an Actius, then there is the Mage's College there. They do have a plethora of knowledge. What is exactly you're looking for?
We're working on trying to figure out the puzzle in order to figure out where the oracles are going to be meeting.
Oh,
We
that
think they
puzzle?
can help us. We think they can help us figure out who or what the prophecy is from or about.
Oh, I can help you with that. That puzzle's actually rather easy. I've been working on it for a few years, and I think I'm actually close to figuring it out. That little brain teaser, you know what I mean?
Fair.
Now, I can help you if you help me.
Of course. What do you need from me?
Well, two things. First, if I figure out this puzzle, I think I know where it might be going. You help me go to Actius for my scholarly studies. And two,
Of course.
I can get you there quick, but I'll just need some supplies.
What supplies?
Well, I have created a new form of magic. It's highly experimental. However, it's a method of traveling rather quickly between place and place. However, it does consume a rather large amount of materials. And I just so happen to be missing two specific things. I am
Which would
actually
be?
missing a few. By a few, I would say probably about 5 will-o-wisp bugs and petals from a specific flower only found in the blinding forest. The Crescent Rose. Everything else I
Is
have.
crescent with an A or an E?
I spelled it with an E. I actually am pretty dumb. I assume it's with an E.
Because both of them look wrong to me.
Yeah, they both do, but I believe it's an E.
Okay. Alright. What was the other thing?
5 will-o-wisp bugs.
Alright. Got it. And then... anything else?
That would be it. Everything I have. So... if you can get those, I can get us to Actius quite literally in a flash.
Got it.
I will advise you. The will-o-wisp bugs you can only find in the evening. And if you do go into the blinding forest, I'd say be careful of the wailing woman.
Wailing woman.
Alright. I just thought of, but watch out for the obviously dangerous thing.
Alright. So those are from in the evening.
And the Crescent Rose, you can only find it where the wailing woman calls home. So unfortunately, don't engage with her, because you'll be relatively close proximity. However, as long as you don't make eye contact with her, you should be okay.
Is Amy close enough to hear all this? How big is the library?
This library is huge.
I'm also probably gonna tell him
Okay.
about it too.
Yeah. So as you're doing that, kind of making notes. Do you and you leave the book with her so she's able to solve it for y'all while y'all are gone.
Yes.
This book originated from this library, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so she already kind of
No
knew what was happening. Yeah.
Cool beans.
Okay. So as y'all do that, right now it's still pretty early in the day, so you would have to wait a while, at least a couple more hours before it gets dark enough to actually explore the woods to find both the Crescent Rose and the will-o-wisp bugs.
Do welder's goggles exist at this time period?
Do what?
Do like something like a welder's goggles exist?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, maybe not in the same vein as what you would have known in the previous campaign, but something a little bit more archaic, perhaps.
Jack, you want to get good? Go get some welder's glasses or shades or something. As you know, if she can't see our eyeballs, and we can see, I think it's fair game.
It's an idea. Is there like a welding shop?
There is not a welding shop, but there is the blacksmiths.
Got it. I don't think we've been there yet. Have we?
You have not.
I guess then I'll say goodbye to the librarian and be like, alright, thank you very much. We'll make sure to bring those back as soon as possible.
As you do that,
And then I'm gonna...
yeah, she waves you off and wishes you good luck on your small expedition.
gonna gather Hammy, go up front to collect Aki and fill them in.
Okay. And as you fill him in and begin to actually tell him the full rundown, I think that is where we're gonna go ahead and end today's session.
All right.
To be fair, we have been doing this for 3 hours and some change.
It's the Wailing Woman.
And to be fair, I don't want to leave both Bixie and Jaren completely out of the story.
Yeah, because we still have to fill him in on a lot.
Yeah, he's got a lot. So we'll probably do that next session when we meet again on Thursday.
Yes.
Question: what time are we meeting on Thursdays?
So I was gonna go ahead and say, since I still work on Wednesdays, actually let me go ahead and
make an announcement.
Close this off. Let me go ahead and end stream first, and then we'll go and talk about that here in a bit.
Oh.
But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and end the stream then.
Sit down.